All right, so I thought it'd be better if I was hands-free to show you some of these little ideas that I wanted to give you for you to practice at home. But for those of you who haven't done any Pilates before, the idea with Pilates is that everything is done in a nice and smooth and controlled and precise way. So it's really good if you can try and listen along to some of these little tips that I'm going to give you about setting up your body ready to do any of the exercises. So there's a few different principles in Pilates which I'll talk about as I go through some of the exercises, but a really nice way to start is to understand the ABC of Pilates. So A is alignment, B is breath, and C is core. So I'm going to start talking through some of these three key areas right now, so you can get started. And they're kind of three key areas that are really good to try and make almost like second nature. So that even when you're doing things like walking the dog, or if we can get out and walk the dog for much longer, or just, I don't know, doing the washing up, or if you have to do any like heavy lifting or anything like that, just trying to think about these three key principles: alignment, breath, and core. Okay, so just now, so we're going to start by setting up our alignment. So we're making sure that we've got our feet hip distance apart, so our feet are directly underneath the bony bits in our hips. We've got our feet nice and widely spread into the floor, and a little bit of softness in your knees. So it's almost like you feel like you've got your knees bent. It's not completely bent, so you're not completely bent in the knees, but it's rather than having your legs locked back, a little bit of softness. And we're making sure that our pelvis is nicely dropped down, so you're not arching too much in your lower back, and you're not tucking your pelvis too much underneath. So you just want to try and find a nice middle ground for that alignment of the pelvis. And then I'm just going to roll my shoulders back and draw my shoulder blades together, and then just rest my arms down by my side. And so we're thinking about creating length in our necks from our ears down to our shoulders. All right, and then we have a feeling of lifting out through the top of the head. So we're feeling nice and tall. And then, just like I say, a nice smile across the chest. So almost imagine that your shoulders are floating away either side, and you've got a nice smile, almost like you've just got a nice lovely big wide grin going on across your chest there. Arms are nice and relaxed down by your side. So that is your alignment. Okay, so that's something really nice just to practice, and then we'll talk more about alignment when we do things going down to the floor as well. And then we're going to work on our breath next. So the breath in Pilates, we practice our lateral breathing. So it's breathing out to the side. And I'm going to come down to the height of the camera here so you can see what's going on. Got to get myself a tripod. All right, so lateral breathing. We normally think about breathing into the lower rib cage. Nice deep breath in, filling that lower rib cage with air as if you've got a balloon that's just inflating. And we're going to breathe in through the nose and fill the lungs with air, and breathe out through the mouth, through pursed lips, as if you're breathing out through a straw. All right, so breathing in through the nose, filling the lower rib cage with air. Breathing out through the mouth, through pursed lips. So try this with me. It's a really good one to practice. Really filling the lungs, really inhaling to your full capacity and exhaling all of the out of your lungs. So nice deep breath in and breathing out through the mouth. You can try it with your eyes closed as well, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. So you don't want anything to change in your chest or your tummy. You don't want to breathe in through your chest, so you don't want to breathe in and expand your tummy. All right, so breathing into the lower rib cage. And then we normally think, also, there's lots of different ways that Pilates teachers will teach this, but we normally think, the way that I teach it and the way that I've learnt is by every time I exhale, I think about engaging in my core a little bit more, but not too tight so that you can't breathe. Okay, so we're thinking about that belly button drawing through to the spine, so just drawing the belly button through, but gently, like I say, you want to be able to breathe. And then the lifting up in the pelvic floor comes from engaging from the back passage. It's very elegant and very beautiful, isn't it, the way we explain this, but from the back passage, and it's as if you're zipping up a pair of jeans. So you're starting from the back and zipping up the pelvic floor, and again, it's an awareness. It's not like a tense feeling. You don't want to be like, unable to You don't want to feel uncomfortable. You want to feel fairly comfortable, but you're thinking about supporting your inner organs, your internal organs, and also supporting your core. And when we do some of the other exercises, by drawing your belly button through to the spine, lifting in the pelvic floor, you're supporting the lower back as well. Okay, so that was our alignment. I'm back on my feet now. Alignment, breath, nice deep breath in through the nose, filling the lungs with air, out through the mouth, exhaling all of the air out of the lungs, and then engaging in your core. Belly button through to the spine and lifting in the pelvic floor. So it's a lovely one to practice, like I say, when you're just doing any of your normal other exercise, practices as well, that you can think about all these different things, because there's such value in really taking those lovely deep breaths in, making sure that you've got a nice perfect alignment, especially if you're doing things like lifting, or you want to keep that lovely alignment. A little bit of bend in the knees so you're being protective of the joints and engaging in your core. Belly button to spine, lifting in the pelvic floor. Zip. Okay, there you go. A, B, C of Pilates.